Good morning. It is 9:06 a.m. Excuse me. And if you see my right eye keep blinking or anything like that, don't think nothing of it. I'm starting, I don't know, get one of those little things in your eye, on the eyelid deal, whatever you want to call it, I don't know. But anyway, all right, one, I really liked what Brother Christopher L. said about on being yoked. I like that. I like that video. And you think about it, when you talk about changes one needs in your life, the thing is, whatever it is, you know what it is, and then there's some who doesn't know. Well, we know who the answer is. There's two. One is Yeshua. That's the first one, and that's the correct one. All right. Second one is also a correct one, but you can't do anything with it on the second one without the first one. Okay, and that's simply you must be the one who's willing to do the changing, whatever it is that needs changing in your life. Yeah, I know. I sometimes do this once in a while. I end up sounding like I'm doing a who's on first bit, But anyway, and I apologize for that. Anyway, it's amazing how we will, if there's something that needs correcting in our life, my life, your life, anyone's life, how that thing that needs correcting, we will at first try to defend what we're doing. Whatever that thing is, we will try to defend it to the teeth, just all grit and just until there's veins popping and smoke coming out the ears and steam out the nose, just like a cartoon character, just eyes bulging, and all this. But the thing is that one must recognize truth, and you must come to the realization that, like in one parable, Yeshua was talking about cutting. If your right hand offends you, then cut it off. In other words, if it causes you to sin, cut it off. You think, well, that's drastic. Why would he tell you to cut your hand off? It's kind of like, well, for one, those who are not living in Yeshua, who's not living a godly life, well, you're not going to understand that. It sounds drastic, but that's the point. There's a point, brothers and sisters in Yeshua. That's the point. If your right hand offends you or causes you to stumble, cut it off. Well, he says, well, that's drastic. No, you're not meaning literally cut your hand off. You go out there, well, it offends me, I'm going to go cut it off. No, that's not what he was talking about. And he also said if your left or I can't remember left, but if your eye offends you, pluck it out. In other words, if your eye causes you to sin. Okay, whatever things that's in your life that is causing you to sin, it could be anything. Like say if it's alcohol, well, you quit going to bars. Stay away from it. Stay away from anything that has to do with bars and such. Cut it off. Get rid of it. Stop it, Okay. Maybe it's dirty books. Well, don't go buy any books. Stay away from bookstores. If that means, if you gotta have somebody else do your shopping for you, do that. If that's what it takes. If it means also to get rid of your cable or satellite TV and chunk your TV out the door, then do that. If it means getting rid of your computer, because you got a problem with porno or whatever it is, maybe even gambling or whatever. I mean, get rid of it. Whatever that thing is, what is the key factor, that thing that will cause you to sin and, that keeps tripping you up, get rid of it. Now, there are some who has problems with bad language, all right? Now, the general overall majority of those who say, I can't help it, it just keeps coming, well, yeah, you can. The best way you can tell if you can help it or not is when certain people are around and you know that offends them, and you are more consciously aware of these things when they're around, right? And so you're watching your P's and Q's there, and you're not saying anything bad or whatever. Well, that means yes, then you can do something. You need to think about it and pray a little bit more on it, all right? You can control it. You can. I know our nature, sometimes there's times once in a while someone gets beside themselves and they will forget. But the person needs to be reminded of this constantly. They need to remind themselves, whatever it is that keeps causing you to say those things, whatever it is, then cut it off. Whatever, you know what it is, get rid of it. Anything. And remember, when someone is speaking out against the things that Christians should not be doing, and you're doing it, why are you being so offensive? I mean, why are you put on the defense, should I say? And then why are you attacking after they mention it? And I'm just going to give you a brief example and let you figure it out. And let you decide and talk to the Lord about it. Okay. And I shouldn't have to be, or anyone shouldn't have to point this out to you. It is the Lord to point this out, okay? All right, but I'm just going to give you an example. All right, this is just an example. All right, let's say, okay, you want to dye your hair pink, blue, and red, and have it all spiked out and everything else, and wear your leather jacket with the spikes all over it, and then you got makeup on your face and all this, right? And I'm just giving you an example, all right? Now, if the preacher gets up there and starts preaching about looking like the world, like everyone else, not being separated, not consecrated to God, but you're saying, well, I don't like that. He just condemned me, when he wasn't even really looking at you. And he said this and that and all this, and what have you. Well, why are you upset with him? Bible, he was just speaking what the Bible says. But why are you upset with him? I mean, so what I'm trying to say is, whatever the things that you're doing, and what you're doing is wrong, and it's not following in the Bible, and someone tells you about it, this is a time for self-examination. I could sit there and probably pinpoint a lot of things, whatever it is you're doing wrong, and not even know who you are. But then I'd have to go pinpoint whatever else things I'm doing wrong too, and got to get rid of whatever it is I'm doing wrong. Correct? Because now you might be doing something major wrong, and I might be doing something what humans are guilty of measuring, saying this is a big sin and this is a little sin. But I have to, try to make sure I can get rid of these things. But on my own, just on my own, I can't do it. But I have to willingly, on my part, to search and look, and with the Lord's help and strength, to start fully getting rid of that stuff. So I could say more, but time's running out. So let us examine ourselves. Let's do a self-examination. The Lord's coming soon. Let's get cleaned up for the wedding festival. Hey, I hope.